Breaking news, Trump announces he's going to make the United States the crypto capital of the world after signing an executive order. This and much more on the Vasquez Report, and it happens right now. Breaking news, Trump signs an executive order saying that he's going to make the United States the crypto capital of the world after signing an executive order. The strategic reserve will include Bitcoin, Solana, Cardano, and XRP, better known as Ripple. The news made crypto markets bullish after gaining $300 billion in value, according to the Wall Street Journal. And honestly, I think it's a good move for the United States to get into the cryptocurrency space. I think it's a good way to establish some equity for the United States and possibly have one of our investments grow in value. I think it's a good idea. In other news, Taiwan announced that it's gonna launch a $100 billion investment into the United States after Taiwanese chip maker said that it's going to make 3 plants in Arizona. That should bring a lot of new jobs to the United States of America and is added to the laundry list of big deals that Donald Trump has made. The Art of the Deal author already making deals with $500 billion coming from Apple and $600 billion coming from Saudi Arabia alone.
Today, Taiwan Semiconductor is announcing that they will be investing at least $100 billion in new capital in the United States over the next short period of time to build state-of-the-art semiconductor manufacturing facilities. I think mostly it's going to be in Arizona, which is what I understand, which is a great state.
Next, was the peace deal, the mineral deal, doomed from the start? Did EU and UK sabotage the deal before it even had a chance to get legs? Well, according to sources, on January 17th, 3 days before President Trump's inauguration, UK and Ukraine signed a deal for 100 years for mineral rights and also security guarantees, along with a laundry list of other things. It made me wonder, did Ukraine go to the United States under false pretenses? Because not only did he not dress for the occasion, but also he seemed to be argumentative with both Trump and Vance, a little unprovoked. Even stating, "What do you know about diplomacy?" to J.D. Vance, after which Vance started to give him an earful. He told him about him sending conscripts to the front line, along with basically taking the visitors of Ukraine on a propaganda tour and being a dictator without holding elections. All these things are true. Ukrainian President Zelensky responded to J.D. Vance in a hostile way, saying that you don't feel it now, but you will feel it in the future. This angered Trump, after which he told him about himself and then got booted out of the White House. I want to know your thoughts on that. It didn't really occur to me until after I read what was actually going on that maybe it wasn't meant to happen from the beginning. Maybe somebody in his ear, maybe Democrats in the EU talked to him beforehand. Something seemed off during the whole thing. I want to know your thoughts. Trump during the spat even told him that he's gambling with World War III, and he said it several times, even pointing at him angrily while telling him about himself and stating that he didn't want a ceasefire, he didn't really want peace, and then he was trying, J.D. Vance said this also, he was trying to litigate the deal in front of the American media when these types of things should happen behind closed doors. I'm wondering why he even constructed his speech that way. Although English isn't his first language, he should have known better than to lecture the president and the vice president in the White House and in the Oval Office in front of the media like that.
This thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I will respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2015.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
that's exactly
but,
right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed with him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the President for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not
cards.
Playing cards.
Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country, that's back to you, far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This
a
entire meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire
today.
meeting, have you said thank you?
Today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you can...
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning.
I know.
You're not winning this. you have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about
If you didn't have our military equipment,
you invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
Again,
tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times
that there,
thank you to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look. If you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're
I
saying
said,
you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what-
That
what
wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was with
wasn't with you.
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your,
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make,
Um,
because the attitudes have to change.
what if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia...
Trump, during the spat, even told him that he's gambling with World War III, and he said it several times, even pointing at him angrily while telling him about himself and stating that, you know, he didn't want a ceasefire, he didn't really want peace, and then he was trying, J.D. Vance said this also, he was trying to litigate the deal in front of the American media when these types of things should happen behind closed doors. I'm wondering why he even constructed his speech that way. Although English isn't his first language, he should have known better than to lecture the president and the vice president in the White House and in the Oval Office in front of the media like that. What do you think? After the spat, he got booted out of the White House by National Security Advisor Mike Waltz and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. And in an attempt to salvage the thing, he's been posting on social media stating how he wants to sign the peace deal, stating how he's been meeting with EU and America's very important and he's always been grateful. And he made several instances where he says the word grateful plenty of times. Even though directly after the spat, when he had an interview on Fox News with Brett Baer, he didn't apologize until the very end. Even though he was asked 3 times if he owed President Trump an apology. I think that he did based on his conduct, because you don't go into the Oval Office telling people that they're going to feel it in the future when you have no idea and you're not in a position to tell anyone what they're going to feel, especially if you're the one requiring aid and soldiers and boots on the ground for a peace deal with one of the world powers. You could tell something was off from the very start. Trump made a joke about what he was dressed like, and the fact that he didn't wear a suit. And here's the
You're all dressed up. Yes, I had pretty close. How are you? Pretty sharp.
He's all dressed up today.
President Trump, what's your message to Vladimir Putin, sir? President Trump, you got enough. President Trump, you got enough.
Thank you very much.